All right, let's take a look and see what this is then. This is this video is called Opie. Where is it? Opie fires back at Erik.
Oh, fires back, huh?
Let's take a look. Is it loaded?
It's right there.
That's there. Okay, here it is.
And I would bet a lot of money that Erik is doing everything.
Well, that's an old clip. Sorry. Very accurate, though.
Well, you got to love his professionalism to put his light source behind him, do that stuff, and just really not even care about any product he's putting out.
His light source, the sun.
Maybe you turn around.
Right. All right. This is the actual video here.
Chulo, is it true that you asked Erik for the O&A archive, but he refuses to give it to you until you grow up like an adult and talk to him? Yeah.
Okay. How do you think he reacts to this?
I mean, combatively. I mean, someone basically is telling him he needs to grow up and talk to you.
Combative, or do you think he's avoiding the actual situation at hand here? Because he falls for this all the time. He falls for what's in the chat. And he thinks it's he'll say, I know what it's about. It's just content. It gets it out there. No. You can say that as a cover-up, but you fall for it every time. Because if this was really an issue, you wouldn't be bringing these up all the time. And he does purposely. So he has something to talk about. So I'm thinking he's going to try to pass this off as he's above this.
I mean, that's true.
Trying to doesn't really care take the high road. This, but he does it anyway.
Right.
Which totally negates whatever his position's going to be. What do you think?
I think he's going to fake the high road, but he's still bringing it up. So it's fake altruism.
Okay. Let's see.
Yes, he could keep the O&A archives. I'm not playing his stupid game. I think
it's not a game.
I was going to say you've been touting those archives for years, trying to get people to buy it. Frankie Bronson tried to buy them off of you. You're waiting for that high payday for that stuff.
Yeah, it not a game.
It never comes up. You don't ever really talk about it. You know, it's come up in passing between like you, me, and Rob late nights when we're talking about stuff. But I mean, you really, other than the story you told on Chrissy's show the other day, I mean, it really is not a subject of conversation that you do. And you don't reach out saying, I've got this. He needs to, if he wants it, he can go. No, you've closed that door. That's done.
He's acting like I'm holding this for ransom or something.
Right.
I'm not. I've said I've offered it to Norton. I've offered it to Anthony Cumia. And they've taken what they needed or asked me for something specific, whatever, but they didn't want to hold on to it. They're like, we trust you with that. If we need it, we can come get it from you.
Sure.
Okay, well, somebody's taking care of it, and that is me. So that it didn't get destroyed by the companies that we worked for, that it didn't get left behind, and then we're like, shit, we wish we had copies of this. I have it.
Yeah, because no one's come to you and said, we own that. You got to give it back. They've washed their hands of it.
So somebody has to take care of it. And that was me. That was my job. And that's what I chose to do.
Right.
I've offered many times. Here, let's buy the rights to it. They wouldn't do it. Then those lapsed. So now it's just a free for all. Whoever has the masters owns it right now. And that is me. And I've said, I'll make you a hard drive. Do you want it? He didn't want anything. Past 2017, when he got fired and when he stopped talking to me and stopped talking to everybody else, he wanted nothing to do with it. But in the last year or two, now that he's got nothing else, he's like, well, if I put Opie and Anthony clips up there, that's going to get more interaction, more engagement, more whatever. Now he wants everything back. Well, it doesn't work like that. I'm just not going. I don't work for you anymore. I don't work for any of those companies anymore. It's mine. Right. And it's not like I'm holding it ransom from him. I offered many times to give it to you. I'm still offering it to you now. If you act like a person and talk to people on the phone or just even meet up, neutral place, somewhere for lunch, whatever.
Oh, Cracker Barrel. Please arrange this at a Cracker Barrel.
Is there a Cracker Barrel in the Hamptons?
Bring this full circle.
There.
We met here. We're going to end it here. The Cracker Barrel. That's what you got to do.
The other thing I want to point out, too, is with the archive stuff. I could have put it online. I could have made a system where I could make money off of the thing, and I never did. I never would. Countless people have asked me for things, and I don't give it to anybody.
Nope.
And that's by design. That's because the right thing will come around with that archive where it will be presented to the audience, to the public, whatever, in the right way. And then that's what we'll work on. I'm not doing it haphazardly. I'm not doing it piecemeal for YouTube. There's plenty of that stuff on YouTube that people recorded off the radio or from wherever. And, it's not, some quality's okay. A lot of the quality isn't. But I'm not putting the studio quality stuff out there unless it's something with everybody involved. So that's why it sits where it sits. And that's why it's preserved in the annals of, what's the ending of Raiders of the Lost Ark? What's that?
It's just the big government thing where they like put everything
in
in
government warehouse. They're just sitting in airtight bins, unlabeled, lost to time.
It's all in those old shortbread cookie tins, just the dance cookies. You just got a bunch of those tins stacked up with the archives. Yeah. Crumbs everywhere.
Red Tower, the O&A archives are American history. They are.
There you are.
They are. They're preserved in glass, light protected museum glass, just like the Declaration of Independence.
I'm going to seal it in lucite.
Hanging on the wall of the Oval Office behind curtains.
Nice.
Only opening to show guests that are privileged enough to see it. Continuing
constantly trying to be stolen by Nick Cage.
If I'm to believe the internet, which is crazy, I get it.
You do.
Supposedly, if I become a human being, then I could get.
See, he watched it.
Yeah,
he watched it. He watched Carl's show or Chrissy's, one of the two, because I think I said it in both. But he watched one of them. The guy who refuses to know anything. I don't want to know things. Everyone's doing an Opie impression now. It's no big deal. I saw Melton doing it. Tukey's doing it now. Tukey does a really funny one, but everyone's doing the Opie impersonation, so it's no point in doing it. But you fall for it all the time. No one's playing. I'm not playing games with him. You can pick up the phone and talk to me like a person, and we can settle things and hash it out. You're afraid. You're insecure. You don't know what to do with yourself. And that's why we're in this predicament now. Well, that's not even a predicament. I was
going to say, it's a self-made predicament. It's not your thing.
Yeah, it's him.
Get my life's work back. Oh my.
That laughing is just to kill time while he's trying to think of something else to say.
Right? Like that was the weirdest laugh.
He has nothing to he has no thoughts. He has nothing to say. He's just killing time between thoughts and trying to figure out what's going to sound poignant, what's going to sound prolific, what makes him sound intelligent and not like a dum-dum.
God.
And if it's his life work, why wouldn't you be on top of it all the time?
Right.
Howard was taping back in the day. Gary tells stories. They had bricks of cassette tapes because K-Rock wouldn't pay for it. He was recording them off the radio so that he had copies of it.
Wow.
Since day one. And then, developed into the system that he has now, which is beyond impressive. I've seen that system, how they operate. It's amazing. I wish I had something like that. But he knew the value of their stuff. Here's somebody else. Bubba the Love Sponge. I give him all the credit in the world because when he was still on terrestrial radio way back in the day, I think it was 98 Rock. It was a Clear Channel station in Tampa. One of his contract negotiations is that he took less money to get full ownership of all of his content on the radio. And then being the carny that he is, he was putting out CDs and DVDs and all of those things because he owned it. He knew in the late 90s to own it. Howard knew since the 80s to own his stuff. What happened here? It was presented on a platter. The agent made a deal with some of these companies. You could buy this for next to nothing. Wouldn't do it. Do you want archives? Do you want hard drive? Didn't want it. And then you're going to sit there and go, my life work. You're going to hold my life's work. You should have been doing your own life's work and saving it as it was happening. If you're out there doing radio or television, daily show, you have a staff, producers, or if you're doing it on your own, each day, give me a digital copy of that show. Put it on a drive, email it to me, let me download it so that you have it down the line. For when you need it later on, you have it. The company's not going to save it. It's preserved. It's all there. Anytime we want to do something, I have it. We can go and do that. You're not getting it for free. And I'm not even asking for like financial compensation. It's fucking talk to a person. If you don't want to, that's fine. I never have to talk to him again. I don't. But if you want something from me, that's the price. I don't think that's being unreasonable.
No.
I don't care. And that is a meaningful I don't care, because I don't. And I'll show you how much I don't care if this video keeps going in a direction that I'm not comfortable with.
Are you guys getting it yet? Are you guys getting it yet? Hear me out. I need to be a human being.
Yes.
And then I can get my life's work back.
Yes.
I sit here sometimes and I just
wonder where all my friends went, where my career went. Why am I lonely? I've got nothing going on. Now, granted, he's got a lot more money than any of us do. So hopefully he is out there living his life and enjoying his time. But the little window that we have to his life is what he's putting out here with this show. Does it reflect that? Does this look like a multimillionaire that's living his best life?
It's like a homeless guy with a camera.
He cleaned up because he got tired of enough people in the chat saying, why do your lips look like wine color and why are you aging so poorly? Or somebody said his hair looked translucent. And look, he's wearing a hat and he's clean shaven. He was looking like Poop Deck Pappy, Popeye's dad.
Yep.
Who was the actor that played it in the Robin Williams movie?
Oh God. I forget what his name is.
Look it up.
Yep.
Look up Poop Deck Pappy. That's what he looked like. And I don't care what he looks like. It's just that's what he's dealing with. He's alone. He doesn't know what to do. He has nobody there helping him. He could.
It's just sad.
He could, but he knows better. He doesn't listen to anybody. He knows better. He's putting all the pieces together. That's what he used to like to say. He figures everything out. Well, you haven't figured out anything. You certainly didn't figure out how to save your life's work. Whoop.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
There it is.
Yep.
There he is.
Oh, Ray Walston.
Gregg Pappy Hughes. There he is. Ray Walston was fantastic. What was the TV show?
I want understanding. I
don't know. Anyway,
do. I want to take responsibility for my part in the whole craziness of the Opie and Anthony world. I have gone to therapy. I've looked deep into myself.
He had clips early on that he was going into therapy and he was talking that out. And that was fantastic. And then he said he stopped going.
Like, why?
I don't know. Because he can't face himself? I don't know. I'm not there. I don't talk to the guy. I have zero idea. I'm speculating like everybody else. Thank you, Mason K. Picket Fences. That's the show that I'm thinking of.
Oh, God, I forgot about Picket Fences.
I still got things to figure out. I'm a work in progress.
I hope so.
But Erik,
he's mocking it.
If it's true, said I need to become a human being, and then I could get my life's work back. This is coming from a guy that worked for a monster.
You worked with a monster, as you call him? I'm not defending a lot of Anthony's stuff.
No.
Anthony's gone out there and talked about everything, every facet of his life. Whether he's apologetic for it or not, he has spoken about it. You can find archives of him talking about all of that stuff. You don't like him, you have a problem with him. Okay, I get some of that. I understand. But that's not my problem. There are plenty of people who worked at MSNBC that worked at Fox that didn't agree with what was on the air, but they did their job and was being professional. There was plenty of shit on Compound that I didn't agree with, but it wasn't my content. It wasn't me putting that out there. I was there working and I did my job. There were things Anthony did on the air that I found funny and that I contributed to. Mm-hmm. Like the old I'm tongue-tied. Like the old O&A days. We'd be goofing on news clips. We'd be goofing on somebody. Goofing on me for whatever. That's what this business was. This show was. Everything that we did was just to be fun and entertaining. And he forgot this. He forgot how to be any of that stuff. Now he's talking about it. You work for a monster. Yeah, because he offered me a job and it was pretty good. So I did take it along with the other jobs that I had with iHeart, with consulting, with other shows. Scott Shannon. I was doing a lot of different things because my career wasn't done. I didn't have millions of dollars to rest back on my laurels and seem to he's not squandering his money, but he's squandering his life. What's worse? Being a high roller, going out there and spending all your money and living, the good life and then dealing with poverty or dealing with whatever, foreclosure. That's terrible. But then to have everything and you're squandering your life, you're not happy. If you're really happy and this is the shit you put out on a daily basis, you're one of the best fucking actors in the world. Because this is not a man who can live with himself. Or he can, and he just doesn't like looking in the mirror. He's had everybody trying to help this guy. He doesn't want it. And then he complains about everybody else. That they're doing something he's not. They have something he's not. He said, bad people succeed in this world. Or people who work and keep relationships and keep stuff consistent are the ones who succeed in this world. Not this. Not withering away into nothing. To sitting here and whining and complaining. Nothing was said terrible about this guy. At least from my end. Right. Norton never talks about him. Sam doesn't ever mention him. As far as I know, I don't hear Sam's show, but I don't think Sam ever brought up anything about Ope. Ant said some things in his books, but he had a different relationship with the guy.
Yeah.
And lately, the content Ant has been putting out has been critiquing Opie's commentary on this stuff, but also offering genuine advice about how to fix things for your show. Doesn't want to listen. What can you do? There's nothing you can do.
Are you going to make believe you didn't know all the crazy shit that Anthony does that kind of doesn't make him look like a human being?
Yeah, I know. I've seen his Twitter feed. We all have seen
his Twitter feed. Is
we know what he's doing. But it's how you choose to deal with it. Are you an adult? It's like, I can have this kind of relationship with a person. I don't have that kind of relationship with the person, but I can have this relationship with the person. It's like if you're a Democrat and a Republican, liberal, conservative, and you can still talk to people humanely. You can still interact like people. Yes, you have heated arguments about policy and beliefs and morality and any of that stuff. But then you can still deal with a person as a person. He can't do that. Now, granted, he can also say that, like, he claims Anthony's done horrific stuff to him. I don't know. I haven't been around for any of that stuff. I know what has been said, but I wasn't a part of it. So anything I say would just be speculation.
Right.
So what do I do? Yeah, I haven't said anything because I wasn't involved. Had nothing to do with it.
Without listing it all here today, Rock, how does that work in your head? That
This is deflecting.
Need to become a human being to get my life's work back.
Yes.
But you literally work for Anthony. who doesn't really show signs of being a human being at times. How does that work in your head? For real.
Anthony's not asking me for things.
Right.
You know what he asked me for? Hey, would you come to compound? I need somebody to help run operations for this stuff here. And pretty much the job is do what I need done. And I'll tell you. Okay, fine. That was the agreement. That was the relationship we had. I wasn't trying to force myself into Anthony's personal life. I'm also not sitting there and saying, hey, you need to be a human being and do these other things. If he asked me, I would give you my opinion. But I'm not calling him up and saying, this is everything you're doing wrong in your life. He's an adult. You want something from me. You've wanted other things from me. And I've told you, I've told Tim Sabian, and Tim knows, Tim can verify this. I've told other people too who you've had as middlemen for these things. This is all I require to move forward. That is like a major fucking ordeal for him. Okay, well, that's my terms. You don't want to agree to those terms, then we don't have to. That's fine. I'm not screaming at you that you're not. You don't have to. But then you don't get anything. That's how it works. I don't think that's being unreasonable. Do you?
No. I mean, it's easy. What you basically came down to saying is that, look, if you want stuff from me, pick up the phone. That is the bare minimum of just work. And he refuses to do it. And he's focusing so much on the be a human and deflecting to the things that Anthony does. It's not the conversation. You're mixing two different things now.
Correct.
And you're like you said, you're deflecting.
He's deflecting. He's side skirting the issue at hand, because then that would mean he has to look at himself and realize that this was a him issue.
I'd like to know. And I'm not even, I know this is going to be confusing to people, but I'm not even taking a shot at Anthony.
I mean, that's literally
you called him a monster.
You literally called him a monster.
And you're saying he's not a human being. That's not a shot?
No, not at all.
Look, I haven't said hurtful things about Ope. I just said be a human being.
Right.
So all right, I'll say that technically could be a shot. It could.
Sure.
But it's a civilized shot. It's a warning shot, maybe across the bow. But it's not like ripping into him as a person or his personal life or any of that shit. It's not what I'm doing. You want something? Talk to me like a human being does. Be a big boy.
It is what it is. Anthony has chosen to live his life in an insanely crazy way.
So that doesn't affect you.
Right.
What he's doing doesn't affect you. You're letting it affect you. Stop being you. I don't know what else to say.
I guess, Erik, when you were crying at work and I was the one there to
because
talk to you and actually give you a hug. Maybe I got to go back to doing that. And then maybe I could get my life's work back. But
we need a counter just right in the corner.
This is going to get ugly.
Erik, if you're watching, and I know you do, I will try to become a human being. I'm going to try just for you so I could get my life's work back. That's fun. Fun, right, everybody? This is just fun.
Wow.
I think he's mocking it. I think he's taking it lightly.
You believe there's mockery afoot?
I think there is mockery afoot.
Can you imagine this guy's just sitting there mocking you?
Look, I would kind of I would enjoy it if he had the corncob pipe while he was doing that. I'd be sitting there and like, oh, look, an old man is speaking. He's waxing poetic.
Look here, Erik. He said,
I would respect my elders and sit down with my legs Indian style, or what do they call it? Crisscross applesauce.
crisscross applesauce. Yeah.
And sit there and let an old man speak while he tells a tale. Spins
Quiet, an old man is speaking.
Yes.
Tell you about the lemon tree. Regale you with stories.
So, what do we take away from this? Do you think he follows up on what he's saying?
No.
Do you think he's mocking this? Because there are some pauses in there where I think he's actually realizing he has to do something if he wants anything back. Again, I'm not holding this over his head. I'm not holding this for ransom. I'm willingly will give him a copy of the archive. I don't think I'm asking for much.
A simple phone call? No.
And it seems to be the biggest burden on this guy. Maybe I should have said $100,000.
Because at least you can, put a number to something that makes sense.
Something like that.
Just
because I think he would know how to handle that.
Because
as a business transaction, I'm breaking this down to talk to me like a human being.
Right.
Be a person. And this
do.
seems to be the most difficult challenge for him.
Well, because again, he deflects to how other people are acting. How could you call him less than a human when you have associated yourself with, Anthony Compound, however you want to frame it?
Mm-hmm.
And how can you call me this while working for it? He's mixing the two. You've always said, like, you may not agree with everything, but it was a job. You did what you did.
Right. I'm not shitting on Anthony.
Nope.
I've never shit on Anthony.
Nope.
If Anthony did something that was worth me doing that, I'd go right at him first. I'm not going online. I'm not posting shit on Twitter. I'm not doing any of that stuff.
Right. You'll have that conversation.
Problem with Anthony, I go right to Anthony.
Right.
Whether if it was at Compound where I could still physically walk over there because he was in New York, I'd go and talk to him, or I would call him or text something like that. I would reach to him directly.
Look,
I've tried doing that to Opie
on a smaller scale.
Years ago,
probably about a month ago, something was said in between segments on this show that you construed as I was unhappy that we were devoting time to a certain subject. You know what you did the next day when you were editing everything together? You literally called me and said, hey, is this really a thing that's bothering you? No. Cool. Squash. Done.
Yeah.
That was a human reaction to something. All you had to do was call. And there was no miscommunication. There was no issue. There was no fighting. There was just, you made a phone call. We had a conversation. We moved past it. That's literally what you're asking him to do. If this is something you want, call me. Not
I've done that with
passive aggressively shit
other
on
people
me on the internet.
Worked with. That, if Matt had a breakdown, Gittles, had a rough go of it for a while. If he had something that was on the air or whatever, that there was an issue, I call him, what's going on? What are we doing here? How do we fix this?
Where do we go from here? Well, how do we move forward? Yeah.
Right.
It's what you do.
Because you're being an adult. You're being a human being.
Mm-hmm.
He takes it as, I'm not playing your games. You're just doing it for attention and for publicity. And what? No, I'm not. You are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not posting shit online about him. I'm not talking about him unless I'm asked. Mm-hmm. I never bring him up. I get asked about him and then I'll discuss things, but I never bring him up because he doesn't.
But you do it in a factual way
so
too.
Fine.
Like you bring it up in a factual way where like these are the events that happen. This is what you feel, but that's it. Like you're not shitting on him. You're not calling him names. You're not, you're not attacking him. You're just wanting the bare minimum of communication. If he so really does want, quote unquote, his life's work.
Mm-hmm. He's had many opportunities while we were all still working together.
Right.
I'll say this over and over again. I begged you, all three of them, and they all can attest to this. He maybe won't admit this. I begged you when the opportunities came up to buy the rights to the archive. Wouldn't do it. I begged you to take copies of what I had. I said, here, you should have this. You have it. That's fine. If I need it, I'll come get it from you. Okay. And then things fell out the way that his solo show ended because he can't get out of his own way. And I've told that story many times. The last thing he said, he yelled at me for not defending him. And then he walked out. And that was the last time I've ever seen him. I mean, here we've seen this stuff, but like in person, that was the last time I ever saw him, 2017. The rare times things come up, he finds a way to make it not about him and how it's everybody else's fault. And I'm not playing that game. Not doing that. You want your stuff there. Now that's the price. If you don't, you don't. And that is fine. It'll be taken care of. It's sitting there in the vast archive, protected for all time, or at least till I die or decide I'm tired of this shit and I throw it out. I guess that's it. I don't think there's really anything else that needs to be said.